Break out your trusty puking bucket. A Dodgers and Lakers owner was linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Another sticky, moist Lakers trade rumor gets thrown into the trash where it belongs. And Gary Patterson is legit happy at USC. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is February 1st, 2026, back at Ice Station Bravo in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's also Sunday, the Lord's Day. So if you believe as I do, take a moment and thank Him for the blessings that you have in your life, like LA sports. And if you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. By all means, comment. We have a quick look at the scoreboard before we get to the news. Kings 3, Philadelphia 2 in overtime. Adrian Kempe scored twice. Indiana edged UCLA in double overtime, 98-97. Donovan Dent scored 24. And USC, they got over Rutgers, 78-75. Ezra Usar scored 21. Meanwhile, today, the Lakers are at New York at 4. The Clippers are at Phoenix at 5. And the Kings play once again. They are at Carolina at noon. But what do you say we get to the news? Because it is not Shohei Ohtani, despite what other folks will let you know. Because you see, Friday, your neighborhood conspiracy theorists, they were wiping the brow under their tinfoil hats, frantically poring over 3 million documents released by the Department of Justice over Jeffrey Epstein. And there they were, desperately searching for the names Trump or Clinton. But that didn't necessarily happen, because The Athletic found emails where the financier, serial rapist, human trafficker, and suicidal success story attempted to set up meetings with the part owner of the Dodgers, Lakers, and Sparks, Todd Boehly. Feel free to pause this clip so you can run into the restroom and puke until you see Valhalla. I'll be here for you. Are you back? Good. Because yes, my blood is running cold too. The emails were sent between Boehly's people and Epstein's people in 2011. Not after 2019, if you were trying to build a case as to whether Epstein actually did kill himself. But these emails were sent after Epstein was already a convicted sex offender. Now, there are no hints whatsoever in the emails that Boehly had anything beyond a business relationship with the debtor-predator. There is no hint as to having traveled to any secret islands or any pics of underage girls. And if you think I am watching my words super carefully, you would be right. Now, The Athletic went to Boehly's reps. They went to the Dodgers, Lakers, Sparks, and another team he owns, Chelsea and the English Premier League, for comments and or interviews. And everybody just went a-chugging a 2-liter bottle of Diet Shut the Hell Up. Nobody would go on record. Now, Boehly owns 20% of the Dodgers, a 7% stake in the Lakers, and about 13% of Chelsea. So, majority owner, shot caller, no. But this is not an insignificant stake, guys. If the emails are to be believed, and I'm not saying they're fake, mind you, a merger and acquisitions guy named David Mitchell introduced Boehly and Epstein in 2011. Epstein allegedly asked for the meet and greet in January. There was another phone call in April. Mitchell asked for another meeting in September to help with the Irish situation. Not the island situation, the Irish situation. And I got to tell you, one big clue that your life is about to horribly go wrong is when you have emails about specific classes of people and link the word situation next to it. So let's take a moment and catch our breath. Maybe even take a breath freshener after all that puking. We have very little to go on. We don't know, for example, how the NBA or Major League Baseball feels about this. And that could definitely impact the future of both the Lakers and Dodgers. The future for the Sparks is trash as it is, so let's not worry about that. I would presume that both leagues vetted Boehly. I would also presume that private investigator teams for these leagues were like, okay, the reason he's super wealthy is some of the people that he knows are grotesque. Absolutely wouldn't want him to meet my family. But you know what? His business partners may be gross, but we cannot prove he is gross. And maybe that was enough reason to let it slide. As for me, I'm not going to accuse anyone of a crime when all I have are emails about meet and greets and Irish people. The Irish? We are not pedos. We're violent drunkards, not pedos. You falsely accuse someone of a crime, meanwhile, you could get sued back to the Stone Age. So I am choosing my words about Todd Boehly very carefully. But you do have to wonder. I will assume innocent until proven. But Commander Creepo, the Mr. Rourke of Illegal Fantasy Island, was first convicted of a sex crime back in 2008. So what the hell was Boehly doing meeting for anything? I'm not saying anything about sex. I'm saying about anything. Chasing the bag eventually has to have its limits. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand chasing the bag. I am booty deep in snow because I'm chasing a bag. But at what point would you be like, you know what? I am not touching that bag. That bag is probably covered with herpes. So yeah, not exactly a good development for the two-time defending champs, even though it's off the field. And even though Todd Boehly might not be guilty of a dang thing. Side note, the LA Times also is reporting that the documents released included emails between Epstein's pimpette, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Casey Wasserman, who leads the LA Olympics group. So this is suboptimal. Now, to be fair to Wasserman, the email trail began in 2003, before the crimes against Epstein were public knowledge, before Epstein was found guilty of anything. And Wasserman did come out with a statement, quote, "I never had a personal or business relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. As is well documented, I went on a humanitarian trip as part of a delegation with the Clinton Foundation in 2002 on the Epstein plane. I am terribly sorry for having any association with either of them," unquote. Now, the emails that the Times published include Wasserman getting flirty with Maxwell, who was about 40 by then. So Wasserman getting with, no sign of that either. Oh, I almost forgot. Actual sports. We have conflicting reports as to Shohei Ohtani's role for Japan in the World Baseball Classic. Ohtani spoke to the scribes yesterday and said it would depend on how his body feels. And then a few minutes later, Dave Roberts was like, hell nah. Now, some clarity about this would be splendid, wouldn't you think? Because the scribes are acting as if Roberts has the final say. But does he? It's not like he's going to be the guy in the dugout when a USA-Japan rematch for the title happens. in the ninth inning with Mike Trout hitting, right? So yeah, a lot of Dodger news to discuss. Kind of awkward Dodger news. Feel free to let me know what you think in the comments thread. Meanwhile, with the Lakers yesterday, we spent time discussing this rumor that just blew up the interwebs, that the Lakers were pushing to acquire forward DeAndre Hunter from Cleveland. And as we discussed and predicted yesterday, the rumor was absolute turd. Totally didn't happen. We know this because the dude was sent to Sacramento for Keon Ellis and Dennis Schrader. Now, I don't want to harp on how stupid it is to take randos on podcasts seriously. But I do want to give you a quote from two scribes who actually cover the NBA, because it might give you a glimpse into the Lakers' mindset the next time a couple of losers with a microphone decide to try and hype up a rumor that has no basis in reality. Quote, the Lakers' interest in Hunter has been repeatedly overstated this week. The teams have certainly talked during this transaction cycle, but the purple and gold are reticent to jeopardize their upcoming financial flexibility in the offseason by absorbing Hunter's $24.9 million salary for next season. Exactly. That's exactly what we discussed yesterday. So, there may be another rumor coming down the pipe. Feel free to treat that with the utmost suspicion. The utmost suspicion. Everybody loves to claim how happy they are. You notice that? You know, the random small talk. Everyone you meet, oh, life is great, right? You go to church today, you tell your pastor, I'm so happy to tithe. You wake up in the morning, your soulmate has halitosis, and you're like, oh, I'm so happy. I wish I didn't have to work so I could just watch you try on clothes in a mall all day. The reason I bring this up is because new USC defensive coordinator Gary Patterson seems legit happy. Quote, I love it, to be honest with you. One of the good parts about being a coordinator, anything I really don't want to answer, I'm just going to say that's Coach Riley's question. I've been waiting 20 some years to be able to say that, unquote. And this matters because Patterson, who turned the Horned Frogs into a national power on defense, he's been pals with Riley for years. So much so, he is a realist about his mission. He knows the assignment, quote, to teach the defense, to try to get it to the level the offense has played here, unquote. If that happens, USC's a real threat. Not kind of a threat to sneak into the tournament. Oh, no. They're a threat to do a lot of damage in said tournament. Another Patterson disciple is expected to trek to USC. Louisiana Tech safeties coach Sam Carter. He played under Patterson at TCU. He was a finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award. Carter, who it would come along with former Baylor defensive back coach Paul Gonzalez, they're basically there for a rapid install of Patterson's scheme. And we talked about it about Gonzalez a couple of days ago. To be honest, I'm stoked for that, but I'm also stoked because it appears linebacker coach Rob Ryan was handed his golden parachute and switched to advisor. I've seen your coaching, dude. I saw it in the NFL and I saw it with SC. Settle into your cubicle, collect your check, and read spreadsheets. And then go advise a wall. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about what you think without accusing people yet. Don't want to get sued. Talk to me about your thoughts about Todd Boehly being business-wise linked to Jeffrey Epstein. Or for that matter, did you even remotely think the Lakers were going to make this move or any before the trade deadline? And if you enjoyed the update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Keon Cortel Queso production. Take care.